Hello, everyone, and welcome to Meta One Design headquarters. And we're back for another episode of Beyond the NFT. I want to thank those of you that did pull in. I thought I saw Mr. Cathouse around here. We have Make an NFT, Future Music, and Tito in the building. We also have a few viewers on X and Kick, and Twitch. So yeah, very happy to see you all. Welcome to Beyond the NFT. My name is Sinful, and I am your host. Before we get started, want to, just give some love to our sponsor here, Bucktown MMA. Bucktown is a mixed martial arts program that whose mission is to empower the youth and young combat athletes. If you want to learn more about Bucktown MMA, head over to bucktown.org/support. And there you could read a little more about the project, about their programs in New Jersey, Chile, and Mexico. And I do believe there are other projects that Jay, our friend Jay, is wanting to get started. So yeah, very Beyond the NFT is very proud to have Bucktown MMA as a sponsor. And yeah, thank you, Jay, for your support. And now, without further delay, it is a great pleasure to introduce our guest this week. She is an award-winning visual artist, excelling in storytelling through physical art and NFTs. It is a great pleasure to introduce Eye-Rye to the stage. Welcome, Eye-Rye. How are you today?
I'm great, thanks. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you here. It's a pleasure. As I mentioned, like when we got in the call here, that I've been following your work for a couple months now, and I've seen you speak in so many spaces, and it's finally a pleasure to be able to speak to you in person as well, or speak to you directly.
Yeah, the feeling is mutual. This is great. I enjoyed our little conversation that we just had, so I'm sure this is going to go well.
Of
I
course.
hope. Some, I had to make sure I was, good and clear-minded, I should say, for this because I can like go off and start talking on a tangent. So I don't want to do that.
I mean, it does happen, and in all honesty, Beyond the NFT is a good place for just to share your experiences, what you know, and what you're doing. And I highly encourage these what you call the tangent.
Okay, that's great
what
because it might happen.
what you call a tangent, I call alpha from Eye-Rye. Tonight, tonight's episode is all about Eye-Rye. So anything you could throw at us, hit me. But I usually like to start with our first question being, well, it's kind of me just passing the mic over to you and giving you the opportunity to kind of give yourself that proper introduction. And tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, who you are, maybe some goals, dreams, whatever it may be. The stage is yours.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, well, I can start off by telling you that I always dreamed of being an artist. And when I was a little girl, I remember drawing, coloring, uh, actually in a coloring book, and I blended blues and greens together uh, on this frog, and like made the blue kind of like shadowing in the creases of the frog's legs and stuff. And I was like, because I had seen someone else do that. And my mom was like, wow, that's really good. Do you want to be an artist? And I honestly think from that point on, I did want to be an artist. And just because my mom encouraged me so much, and my whole family's very creative. Um, but I'm the only one who went to art school. So I started off, I didn't, I wasn't the best high school student, but when I got to college and got to do what I wanted to do, I really excelled. And I went to my community college at first, and then transferred over to UMass Dartmouth. And UMass Dartmouth was a great school for me. They had a fantastic art department. And what happened was was worried about finances, with my life. And I started off as a graphic design major, and I didn't even get to do the computer stuff yet.
Hmm.
I just got to do all of the foundation classes.
Okay.
And in one of those foundation classes, I had a 3D class, and it was so much fun. I made things with paper mache, just like all 3D with like styrofoam and things like that, things that aren't too technical, not like sculpture, but
Hmm.
it was the beginning of me wanting to get into sculpture. So I did. I changed my major to sculpture, and it was really funny because the professor that I was going to have, he was one of the higher ups there at the college, and he was like, that never happens where the graphic designer wants to become a fine artist. It's always the other way around.
Hmm.
So, so he was really happy because he was a sculpture teacher, and he ended up being my teacher for 2 years. And I just excelled in school. And then I ended up, I was working in the restaurant business for a long, long time. And when I did that, I couldn't wait to get out of it because I had my degree, and I was just so tired of it. And it just happened that I got a broken leg and had to be out of work for a little while. And while I was out of work, my dad had found an ad in the paper for my old high school. My high school was looking for an art teacher. So I applied, and I got the job as an art teacher at my high school. And I worked there for 5 years, but I still wasn't really satisfied. I wanted to make my own art. I really loved doing what I did. I made like all the set designs for the plays and everything too. I had an extra job to do that, which I got a stipend for, but it was a lot of work,
Oh,
a
I
lot
bet.
of work.
I bet.
Yeah, and it was funny because we have the summer off, and you really need that time off when you're a teacher because it's work, 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 you
Mhm.
know, when you are there. But yeah, so I ended up leaving the school and going out on my own. And I've been doing this ever since. I just started my website though last year, and it's been ongoing for a year. And I'm so happy. I have sold some items out of the website, so it is working.
Mhm.
Um, Fortunate that that's happening, and it's building slowly. you know, more and more people, I get little dings on my phone whenever I get a site visitor. So they're from all over the place and all over the world, so
Have you
I
been
think it's
pinging
pretty
me on?
cool.
Have you been pinging me in Florida?
Oh yeah, I did get that. Floor from wait a minute, I did get that.
That's
I'm
me.
trying to think. Yeah, that's cool. Awesome. Wow. Where was I? I was
Oh,
talking about going off on my own as an artist. Yeah. I it was kind of scary to do, but at the same time, I feel like I was ready for it. And now I'm positive that I'm doing the right thing. And I belong to a bunch of galleries and one art museum. And I show in a lot of exhibits. I have an exhibit this Saturday, and that is at a really schwanky gallery in Warren, Rhode Island, and it's a community show. So I did have to pay to put my work in the show. That's artists always have to pay to get paid. It's like the only profession like that. It seems, that we have to. I don't know about musicians, but visual artists always have to pay to
ba-
have their work shown.
barrier to entry, money.
hmm Yeah, so it's okay, maybe someday they'll be paying me. I don't know, we'll have to see, but
Yeah.
that's my goal is to, I've had people ask me, why is it important for you to be so successful as an artist? But my teacher in college, she's a good friend of mine now, and she really encouraged me to do what I'm doing now, and that is just to um, keep striving for better, keep striving for the best thing. I can put I hope that I look all right. Let me see. So you have your camera on, I'll put mine on.
Hmm.
Okay.
You're more than
No,
welcome to.
well, okay. Okay. Oh, is it? Okay. Oh, it's asking me questions. Okay, sorry about. Okay, there we go.
There you are. Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Oh,
So,
go ahead.
okay. Yeah, so things have really actually since I have joined X, it's opened up a lot of doors for me. I got some work, just some painting jobs from a few people that I met on X, and it's opened the door for me. It's how I got into Hug, which is it's kind of like a visual artist hub, like almost like social media, but you can put all of your artwork up and you can talk to other artists, review other artists. They can review you, so you get points and things like that. But it's what how I applied for that position that I got in New York City.
Oh, Hug.
So Hug,
I have your profile up right here somewhere actually. Right here. Let me
oh yeah.
put it on the screen.
Hmm.
All right, it's up. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, so they really and I thank someone that I met. Oh yeah, there it is. I met through my friend Alicia. She helped me find Hug, and they have such great calls for art there.
Hmm.
And that's what I do. I just do calls for art, and I show at the galleries that I belong to and the art museum. And that's that's where I am right now. Just I do try a lot of different things. Like I said, I went to school for sculpture.
Hmm.
There's a really good sculpture that I did actually in college. That one right there
So
that
cool.
you were just looking at. Yeah, thank you. That was a hard not hard. Well, it was a lot of steps
Hmm.
to make that. We made it out of clay first, and then with a model, and then we manipulated it to, a different state. And then after the clay, we put a, a waste mold on it. Basically built a shim wall around the edge of the sculpture
Hmm.
and made two sides to the mold. And then what you have to do is you have to scoop all the clay out of there, rinse all the clay out, and then pour it with plaster
Okay.
into, you got to soap it all up because you got to get it out of there.
Hmm.
So you soap up the mold and then you pour it with plaster and then you break it apart with a chisel. And once you get to you flick a little color on there, and once you get to that color layer, you know that your sculpture is right underneath that colored layer.
Hmm.
Um, if you can imagine.
Yeah.
And then it's done, and then you have to add all the finishing touches like the paint and everything. But I wanted it to look like it was stone, that it was carved out of stone.
It
So I
definitely
think
does.
yeah, that's something that I'd like to try. Like I was saying, I try all different kinds of mediums and techniques. And just recently, I was going to sign up for an oil painting class because I don't have that much experience in oil painting. Whatever I know about oil painting, I've taught myself.
Hmm.
So, um, I do acrylic painting or collage mostly. And my sculptures, they've kind of taken a back seat to the I haven't, like all those doll heads. I did a
Yeah.
series that were all just different aspects of myself that I
Hmm.
wanted to portray, and that's why I did all of those. And then I did some yeah,
Oh, I
they
love the
all have
names.
store
Yeah, I'm looking at the names and stuff. I'm sorry. What were you
yeah,
saying?
I do get no, I do get creative with the names, and they all have a story that goes with them or a poem.
Hmm.
And I like that I have a story that goes with everything that I make. It has meaning behind it. There's nothing that doesn't have, like, it's hard for me to do abstract work because for me it doesn't have as much meaning as something uh, a little more realistic.
Hmm.
hmm Even if it's surreal, which I do a lot of surrealistic work for sure. Um, I like doing surrealism. I like if you go back, you can see my oh yeah, right. Scroll down the other way. I'm sorry.
Scroll up.
Yeah, scroll up. Sorry.
All right.
Right here, right here. These two girls
Nicole
are
and Megan.
wood burn. Yeah, they're wood burnings, and those were really fun to make. It's just like drawing with fire.
Hmm.
And it's such a soothing thing to do. Like I remember I was doing it in spaces and I was doing my wood burning, and it smells so good. It's really, yeah, it does.
I feel
So I love that.
I feel like this would be like a form of sculpting.
Yes, definitely, definitely. I do, and even in the collages too.
Hmm.
That's the collage that I do is very sculptural. Even those two ladies there
Hmm.
that I did, very sculptural. Yeah. So I haven't abandoned it, but it's just taken a back seat a
Hmm.
little bit
Yeah,
now.
that was
Mhm.
actually the first thing I kind of wanted to point, or kind of like that. Whenever you were talking about starting off at graphic design in college and then switching over to sculpture, like that's where this kind of like image came to mind, and the background of it. And I have to say, I really love these paintings. Like you managed to capture like kind of like this oldies, like 60s vibe, and even like with the art style. Like I wish I could zoom in right now. I know earlier I was zooming in, and I could actually like see kind of like kind of it was almost like streaks, kind of signifying like an old school picture image.
Yeah, yeah. I like to make things look I guess what do you call Trump Deolay, I think it's called,
Mhm.
but when you can make things look like they're stone or make things look like they're moss. Like I've done that before.
Mhm.
Um Making things look like they're moss. I've actually grown moss before. You can actually do that with apple juice and a blender. And
Like
you can put, yeah, if you just mix apple juice and regular moss in a blender and then you paint it on something
Mhm.
like a rock or something, it has to be something like a piece of wood or a rock or something natural,
Uh-huh.
and you can paint the moss on there and it will start growing.
Do, I'm trying to figure it out. Like, are you like just turning the apple juice back into applesauce somehow, reverse engineering with the blender? Like, I am
I
blown away by the
don't
physics right now.
I don't know how it works, but it works. It's really cool. I think the apple juice gives it something to feed off of. I'm not sure. I
Mhm.
don't know what it does. Or I don't know what it does, but I learned that trick. I don't know how I did that. How I was searching for, ways to create a lifelike looking moss, and on the internet one day, and I found that.
That is awesome. And then after that, like, do you just apply paint over it to give it whatever color you want it to be, or do you add kind of coloring before, like while in the blender?
Oh yeah, I never even thought of that. I guess you could add color in the blender.
Maybe an
I
experiment
just
for
did.
next time.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good idea. I also experimented with encaustics, which is the toucan and the oranges there.
Okay.
They're yeah, encaustic is like a painting with hot wax, and it's you have to use a heat gun, and you have to use a like a wood surface. You can use glass if you wanted to, but it would heat up a lot. But most people use wood, and then you paint with the um, this is oil
Mhm.
paint actually. The um, you mix it with oil paint. The bird is actually oil paint, and then the background is the hot wax.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
You can kind of tell by like it's kind of like how far it spreads, like it's like different blends of color coming together in layers.
Yeah, yeah. You can put the wax on, paint it on, and then you can add heat to it, and then do more colors, and then the more heat you add to it, the more you're going to get those under layers to shine through.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really fun to work with. It's a really fun material. I loved doing that. And I still have some encaustic work to do, but I haven't done it in a little while because I really all my time went into doing the calendar this year.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
I'm happy you mentioned the calendar because that was let's see, here it is. That was something I did want to cover because around the time when I met you, you were kind of putting this calendar together. I believe it was maybe September, October, around that time range, and you had just finished doing a an auction for and trying to
Okay.
gather funds for breast cancer, and kind of like these two projects in a way kind of blended together. Yeah,
Yeah.
what can you tell us about it, please?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Well, a friend of ours in Web3, her name's Connie. She she came to a bunch of people, and I give her props for just saying that she needed help. She falls into a category where she works two jobs, and she doesn't have the medical insurance because she works only part-time at both jobs. So she doesn't have she has to pay out of pocket for her medical care, and only some of it will get paid. Um, so we decided that we were going to do a fundraiser for her, but we also wanted to do a fundraiser for the American Cancer Society. So we could help people with breast cancer. And it was really awesome because at the time that I got in touch with the people at the American Cancer Society, they were having a fundraiser where the funds actually all went to breast cancer. Otherwise, American Cancer Society, if you just donate to them, you're you don't get to choose where your funds go.
Hmm.
So they could go to any kind of cancer, or they could go to, paying wages or whatever, paying for styrofoam cups, you know what I mean? Who knows? But this particular time that I contacted her, had this going on. And so I was able to direct all of the funds to cancer research, about breast cancer research specifically. And we raised $1,000 doing that, and we raised $700 for Connie to pay for some of her bills that she had that were really just getting out of hand for her, because she had the poor thing, she had like all sorts of medical problems going on at the same time, and she really needed our help, so it came at the right time. And then she actually, I want to talk about Connie a little bit because
Of
she
course.
really inspired, she's the what inspired this whole calendar. And I think that we should give her day. I just think that she was so gracious with everything, accepting everything that we offered her. And she just was able to, she was living in a hotel actually, and she was able to get an apartment in the middle of making the calendar. She got an apartment, and so it was like we went through a lot of things with her where things started to change for her, because I think a lot of people had Connie on their mind and were praying for her, and just wishing her well and sending her good vibes. And she was able to get an apartment, and the $700 did come in really handy. I wish we could have raised more for her, but that's the way it went. And the calendars, they what we did was I painted 7 pictures, and I'm 7, not 7, 13 pictures. I have 7 hanging in my studio right now. We sold 6 of them in auctions that we did throughout the 6 months that I worked on it. So every month we did an auction, and we were able to sell 6 of the pieces that way. And that money went, like I said, to American Cancer Society and to Connie. And then when it came time for the calendars to sell them, they were all volunteer models, by the way. It was all some of them are my family members, and a lot of them are Web3 girls that have all just donated pictures to me, and I was able to create the paintings from the photographs that they sent. And it was just, I think that the women who posed for me, who were in the calendar, they all got a copy of the calendar. Whoops.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yep. Sorry about that. I've been just sharing it out
okay.
to all the streams, the link.
Okay. Oh, okay. They really liked the calendar, and they liked their particular, their paintings as well. So that made me really happy that everyone was really happy with the calendar. Came out beautiful. I actually had a lot of help with that, because Goof, who is also in Web3, he is a graphic designer, and he designed the whole calendar with my paintings. So he did a lot for us, but the calendar came out so well. But we only had one avenue of selling them, and that's on my website, which they're still for sale on my website. It's not too late to get a calendar for 2025. And we didn't sell as many as we thought we were going to sell. Probably about half were sold, and we still have a few for sale. So but I think if I'm going to talk to Goof about the possibility of doing another calendar, and we might just do other avenues for marketing, which is what he suggested. He said, well, maybe we get it into a few places, so that it's not just one place that's selling the calendar. So I needed help with things like that. I was so grateful to have him help me. Oh, that was my ding that said someone was on my website. Sorry.
Oh, don't worry about that person on your website.
That's funny. You just scrolled by that. Yeah, these are projects. Oh, I can tell you about this.
Mm-hmm.
This NFT pop-up studio is a project that I've been working on for over a year now. And the reason is because I'm doing 24 portraits of people that I've never met. So I had to take the stills from like videos, and it was hard to do, just to get the images of the person,
Hmm.
and then paint them. So I put that on the back burner for a while, and that's something that I want to finish this year, because some of the NFT artists that are in that collection are like no longer NFT artists, or we don't know what happened to them, or you know what I mean? So this was season one. I don't know if you know about Brett's NFT pop-up studio, but they are on Object.
Yep.
And I do have a lot. Yeah, I have a lot on Object. You know what? I
Yes,
was
you do.
going to,
That I was looking for
yeah.
them right here.
Oh yeah, there they are. Yeah, I like this project. It's fun. And I get from watching the videos, I got a little, glimpse into what the person was like. So I tried to get the best image of them, and he was so funny with this hat and the glasses that he put on. I was just like, I gotta get it right like this.
Hmm. The
So
position.
that was that one. Yeah. Mm-mm. That's a project that I really want to finish this year, and I don't want to put it on the back burner. I want it to be, I don't want it. It can't be in the forefront because I have other things going on. But um, uh, that's going to be a project that I, try to stay consistent with until it's done. And I do have a lot of canvases like ready to go. So I'll do more of that. But if you uh oh yeah, you know what I'm doing with my NFTs now? I'm only on Object, and that's my self-portrait.
Is it the one you were
Yeah.
telling me about that you liked a
y-
lot?
y-
The new one?
Yeah, yeah. Yep, the new one that's like 3 times the size of me. It's really big. It's how big is it? It's like 3 foot by 4 foot.
Oh.
So yeah, yeah. So it's funny. Um, but what was I gonna say? I don't know where I was. Oh, Object. Yeah, I wanted to say that on Object, I have started to do a new thing, and that is like if you look at the prices of everything, and then you go and look at the prices of the NFTs for the calendar, you'll notice
Yep.
that there's a big difference. And
Hmm.
those are all one-on-ones. And that's what I'm going to do from now on. Because I'm going to learn some digital art this year. That's part of my plan, to learn some digital art. But I'm a physical artist at heart. And what I want to do is just to, whatever I make with my hands, it's going to turn into an NFT, and it's going to come, they're going to go together.
Yeah.
So whatever, yeah.
Nice.
So that's how I'm going to go moving forward. Um, yeah, some of these I have sold, like the lion I sold, and the person who bought that painting, she understands, I wrote it in her contract that she understands that this one has, I think, 10 NFTs that go with it. And of course, she gets one.
Aw.
Um, yeah. So, but I want to change that and just start doing one-on-ones, and have them be the price of the art. Um,
Hmm. Yeah, it's the
so
bundle
that's
deal in a way.
Yeah, yeah. So that's my new NFT, the way I want to work them anyway. Um, And yeah, I haven't really been on object too much. I just bought someone's art recently, the other day, but I haven't put too much on there like prior. Oh, that's my tiger. That's a memoir and a vision. Yeah, that one's really big. That one is 4 foot by 5 foot, or
You're,
yeah, 4 foot by 5 foot.
do you have them like hanging like next to you, or like just trying to recall?
You know what's so funny? I don't have him hang. I was just looking at my canvases that I
Uh,
have. That I have a couple of canvases still that are the same size, but he's actually hanging at one of the schools that I teach at.
Aw.
So yeah, and so it's an art school, like an art and craft school,
Mhm.
and they do all sorts of stuff artsy. So it's hanging there, but I'm hoping to put it. I hope that I get into that show at the Attleboro Art Museum that I just got asked to be part of the top 20. Did I
Mhm.
tell you that?
You
Okay,
told you
yeah.
told me, but we have
But
to
I
tell
didn't tell
everyone
the
else.
audience.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I just well, I applied for I had a member show at the Attleboro Art Museum where I belong, and when you submit your art to that show, you can also apply for this Eight Visions show. So I applied for the Eight Visions show, and 57 people applied, but I was one of the finalists in the top 20. So there will only be 8 people in the show, and I'm hoping that if I get in, this collage will be in that show. Is it has to be a cohesive body of work. So I've used all of my collages in my portfolio for this particular show, and it's if I do get in, it's really going to be great for me because the museum is not far from Boston, and it will be a great opportunity for me if I get into that show.
Mhm.
Um, so, and then it also encourages me to make some more collage so that I'm prepared if I do get in. I don't find out until March.
Okay.
So, yeah, I have a lot of waiting to do,
Mhm.
a couple months.
And is it like you have to have the work done? Like should you already have work done by the time it's announced so you could be ready for the next thing, or will you have like kind of some time to make something else, let's say?
Yeah, I'll have time to make
Okay.
something else. The show is not until July.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, I will have time to make something else. But I do have quite a few collages now that I can use that haven't sold yet. So actually, my collages have not too many of my collages have sold, and maybe because they're a little higher up in price.
Mhm.
Um, uh, because they do take a little bit of time to do. When I first started learning about NFTs, it was really hard for me because it was like learning a new language. And man, it was, I always joke around and I say it was like learning Mandarin Chinese. It was hard, and I didn't understand because I was with everything. Like what? Why are there so many steps to this? Why can't it be easier? Or why do you have to have so many wallets?
Why
Or
so many
why this?
networks?
Yeah, just didn't get it, and it took me a while, and actually a lot of people on X helped me out with that, and I figured my my photography was already digital, so it would work out really well. So those were the first pieces that I put up, was my photographs, and then I did a little bit of fun with digitally, and did some AI. I also,
Oh yeah,
just
these right here.
started dabbling with AI. Yeah. hmm
Like wow.
So yeah, fun, right? That I thought those were really cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I started dabbling with AI, and it's the thing about it is that what I've discovered is you like to use AI as a tool, um to like sometime one for example, I applied for a mural contest, and I didn't get it, but I used AI to kind of get the idea of what I wanted,
Mhm.
and I was supposed to make a painting out of that, but that's probably why I didn't get in, because I just submitted the AI image that I created.
Not the
And I
painting.
was like, I'm gonna do this, and didn't do the painting. And I just didn't have time. It was for my friend's art school, and
Mhm.
I was just, trying to help her out. But the mural that they did end up with was really cool, and it's in the art school, and it's just on the walls before you get into the art studio. It's great. Um, I used to teach mural painting for a little while. hmm
Really?
I Yeah, I've done a lot. I'm gonna be 55 this year, so I've dabbled in a lot of different jobs. I also worked at a company that does appraisals and it does authentication of art. That was really fun. But you know what? I found out that most of the art that would come in and say, I think this is, people would be like, I think this is a Picasso. I think this is what's his name? I can't
Leonardo.
think of it now.
Not Leonardo.
What? Yeah, whoever, like famous artists, and they were all fakes that, every single time someone had a supposed, one of those famous artist paintings, and they were always, nope.
No.
But I had to do all the preliminary work before we got to the yes or no,
Mhm.
and I did a lot of the research on the artwork. So that was a fun job. I liked it, but it wasn't painting. So I I I like touching my work. I like hands-on. I I like making things with my hands. So I don't know how it's going to be when I start doing some digital, but it will probably be much like the AI and um, the NFTs have been for me, which is just like it's an a, it's an addition to what I already do,
Mhm.
and that is definitely physical art,
Yep.
you know.
Yeah, that's what
So
I was thinking.
yeah.
Yeah, like perhaps like the
hmm
method where you start with, with a painting and then you feed that painting into AI and then that kind of collaborate with the AI.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Yep.
I am open for I love discussions like this because I always want to try something new. I it's what like an oil painting class just came up, and I can't take it because I just can't afford it right now.
Yeah.
But oil painting is not like I kind of taught myself how to oil paint, and I don't really know how to oil paint other than what I've taught myself and what I think, works.
Mhm.
And what I've been told in school works, you know, and but I was going to take it starts tomorrow. I'm not going to take the class, but I just received a whole bunch of supplies for oil painting now, just
Ooh.
because I was telling my friends that I wanted to take this oil painting class. And my friend was like, I never use these supplies.
Aw.
You can have them. Yeah, so I got a bunch of oil painting supplies. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to go on YouTube or something and look around at some beginner classes and do it myself. And then maybe next year they'll run the class again. I'll take it, you know, um, because you can learn a lot from other artists.
Yep.
I love that. I love collaborating with artists about, or just having a discussion with another artist about art is really, that's just, I love it. It's one of my favorite things to do, for
Mm-hmm.
sure.
Most definitely. Like so, sometimes like I am more of like the I'm not a creative. I don't make music or art. I like scribble on my pieces of paper and stuff like that maybe. But that's about as far as I go. So like I always enjoy listening to two artists kind of talk back and forth like to each other, whether if
Hmm.
it's like on a focus towards a project or kind and like the terminology they're using, like the and then how excited they get. It's like, oh, that's how you do that. Like it is something that
Yeah.
I kind of like live for in a way. One of the
Oh, that's
memories that I
great.
can think of like when this happened was like for this hoodie that I'm wearing. This is like actually like a Mew hoodie. Like I don't know if you noticed my Mew. Like I have Mew
Oh,
everywhere,
yeah.
but it's a Mew hoodie. It's a part of like my merchandise that I sell, and
Oh, cool.
so this comes with the physical hoodie comes with a Decentraland wearable, so that you can wear your hoodie in the digital platform as well. Um,
Oh, cool.
and so then just making this, I it was a collaboration between me and my friend SRJH. He is a talented tattoo artist, and also like speaking of murals earlier, he like made a big Decentraland mural like last year, which like blew my mind. And
Oh, wow.
yeah, it was just amazing seeing him and Rustan kind of come in and help, and then both of them kind of bouncing ideas, or like with the wearable, like SRJH was having issues, and then they were just like both like didn't know what was going on, but they were just both troubleshooting, and maybe this will work, maybe that. Like, what if I do that? So,
I love that. I love that. Yeah, artists are such creative. I mean, just so creative with what they think. They sometimes it's like, how did you even think of that? You know, like I saw a sculpture at I went to Art Basel, and that was great. I had a really good time in Art Basel, but I saw a sculpture there, and it was just so funny. It was like part goat and part woman, and had like a crocheted um outfit on that, you know, the artist crocheted it, or someone, I don't know, I didn't read what happened, how she got the crocheted part, but it was crocheted, and it had this enormous butt, you know. And I was just thinking, like, who thinks of stuff like this, you know what I mean? It was just like, it was really weird looking, but it was really cool and really funny, you know. And artists are like that, you know, just they want to make people laugh, they want to tell a story, and that's me. I like to tell stories,
hmm
so that's, yeah, that's what I like to do in my art,
I,
for
I
sure.
I do agree that there is like with like a lot of with some artists there is like some sort of like them applying their sense of humor into their art. Like I like think about like the I believe it's like famous like banana that's taped to the wall.
Oh, I,
You know?
you know what? I was just, my friend was just asking me about that and asking me if I knew who the artist was. And I don't know who the artist is. I can't think of his name. But I was telling him, I was like, that is like a money laundering scheme or
No way.
something.
Oh, come on.
Yes. I
Because there's no
really,
way they're selling for that much, right?
who's gonna buy a banana that it's gonna die and for $6 million? That doesn't make any sense to me. So
Yeah.
they must be getting something else in the deal. I don't know. I don't know what the story is, but that's what I told him.
Hmm.
Um, that's my theory. I'm sticking to
I mean,
it.
it's a pretty
It
good
could,
theory.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. Like I could never do art like that and feel good about myself. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like I don't know. I need to push boundaries and like take things to the next level, so I that kind of art just is just so frivolous. And you know what, it's not even, it kind of gives art a bad name,
Hmm.
because that's what people say. People think, oh, art is just like sticking a banana on the wall now. You know what I mean? And that's not what art is. Art
Unfortunately,
is
that gets the big number. Yeah. That's what
yeah,
everyone sees.
yep. So, I don't know. Um, it's fun being an artist, though. I gotta tell you, it really is. I'm enjoying myself immensely now, especially on X. I've learned so much about NFTs and about AI and about all sorts of things. Just this interview, for example, you know what I mean? If I wasn't on X, I wouldn't have met you. So I really enjoy X. I'm happy that I'm on that platform. Trying to get monetized this year. We'll
Let,
see if it happens.
let's
It's
do it. I mean,
hard.
I see people getting like
Yeah,
thousands of dollars for like a GM
I
post or
know.
some shit. So, like, I mean, what if like you actually are monetized and actually like providing content? So, someone
Yeah,
such as yourself,
yeah.
you're not gonna GM. I mean, if you do GM, it's gonna be like with one of your creations, like you're like GM, look what I made.
Mhm. Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I want to and you know what, like it just pushes me to do better and better. Once I learn something, I want to excel and I want, and what's the next project?
yeah.
You know, so like when I first learned, I went to a seminar, a little, not a seminar, yeah, it was like a seminar demonstration on encaustics, which is the hot wax method that I was telling you about.
Hmm.
um it's painting with hot wax, and I loved the seminar so much. I went out and got the book that she suggested, and I got the supplies, and I would just had a ball making encaustic paintings all over the place. And it was funny because you paint on wood, you
Hmm.
don't paint on
Oh,
canvas.
okay. I didn't know that.
So yeah. So everything that I had, and I started like finding things in my house that were wood that I could put encaustics on, and I have this little cabinet that is all encaustic now, and I love it. It's really cool.
Nice, nice.
But once I like feel like I've learned a new technique, I'm like, okay, what can I learn now? So that's why I wanted to get a little bit, learn a little bit more about oil painting,
Hmm.
because it goes with encaustics.
Yep.
You can't use encaustics and acrylic together, but you can use encaustics
And oil.
and oil together. So it would just make more sense if I learned a little more about oil.
Mm-hmm. Well, I just
Mm.
definitely learned something tonight about art. So I guess we've been going for about an hour now. So I think it'd be a good time to kind of wrap up into some final questions. What do you think?
Sure, sure.
Okay, moving forward, what is something that everyone should be keeping an eye on? Maybe a new release or a new collaboration you're working on?
Well, I think that people should keep an eye on what I have coming up for if I make it into that 8 Vision show. I told everyone I
Mm-hmm.
would keep them posted. So that's really, I think that once I get into that show, it's going to prop me up and hopefully I want to show in New York City again. I showed in New York City at the New York Stock Exchange this past year. And if I can do that again, not necessarily the stock exchange, but another show in New York City, that will be great for me. So I say well, look out for that.
All right. Is there any way to kind of support, kind of your entry into the show?
Well, not
Not in the.
well, I mean, um not really. There's no way to really support it unless you're local
Mm-hmm.
and you can, come and see the show. Um, but it is going to be, there's a lot to it. If if I do get accepted, I do a little video of myself talking about my work, which would be, just a short video that will be displayed that night. um, I would have probably about 8 pieces in the show, and the show will be up for about a month. And I think that it's a show that a lot of uh, curators and gallery owners, come to see. So it's going to be good for me. So I think yeah, that's a good thing.
I wish you all the luck in the world. And let's see, right here on my screen, I have pulled up your YouTube. By the way, you have 4 followers now after I've subscribed. Uh,
Oh, thank you.
wait,
Well, I got kicked off of YouTube.
what?
This is my second YouTube. Yeah, I got kicked off for showing my calendar pictures.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah.
yeah, it's we were talking about it. YouTube is rough, definitely.
Yeah.
That the my friend Rustan that I mentioned earlier, he is a body paint artist. If you look him up, like
Oh.
Rustan, look him up. Trust me, I think you'll appreciate the work. He's one of like
Oh, cool.
yeah. I think he just hit 400,000 subscribers on YouTube like last month or the month
Wow.
before. He's always talking about how he constantly has to be on the phone with YouTube, telling them that his art is not nudity. Yeah, because
Right.
so yeah, maybe
Oh,
that could be
wow.
something that you could do to potentially recover your old account. Like get a
Yeah, I
strike
wish
taken
I
off.
could. Yeah, maybe I will try that because it was, I felt bad. I was like, oh, what is, that some 12-year-old boy is like oogling my pictures, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, so, oh, I gotta, oop, sorry.
uh, do you have to go
There's
real quick?
no, 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 I
Uh,
don't. I had to just stop that phone call from coming
Uh,
in.
yeah, well, I'll just keep you for a couple more minutes.
Okay.
I mean, I was gonna make a comment about like it's definitely not that there's a 12-year-old doing that because you could type in naked yoga in the search bar and you'll get naked yoga on YouTube and no one reports that, like, or it's never taken down.
Oh,
Exactly. So it's kind of a weird world we're operating in here.
yeah. Yeah.
Whenever anyone goes to your YouTube, which is at Eye-Rye 1970, what can viewers expect?
Well, I just do videos, which I've started to do on X now, and I guess I'll probably continue to do them on YouTube. I've just been kind of disillusioned by them. I just don't. Um, so I haven't spent much time on there. But now X is like becoming this everything app
Yep.
where you can I could do it right on X. So I on those videos I just talk about what's going on in my life and what's going on in my art, and I show some art pieces that I'm working on usually, and that's about it. I tell people about the shows that I have coming up and things like that. So it's just an update on Eye-Rye and her world.
Do you do them daily or kind of like weekly, monthly?
Monthly.
Monthly. Nice.
Hmm.
Nice, nice. It's always good to like just keep consistent in something, whether it's posting a video. I kind of made a New Year's resolution that I want to upload one video a month, at least one video a month. And like I know
Hmm.
I already do a lot of uploading with my streaming because my streams go straight get uploaded. But I mean, like actually make a video, make something. So that is my New Year's resolution so far.
Oh,
Uh,
you should do it.
I'm 6 days into January. I haven't started. Maybe soon. Maybe soon. I definitely should get started.
Yeah. Well, you got it. You got some time. Hmm.
For sure. And let's see. Okay, so at the bottom of your website, under your biography, there is a little bit of contact info here for info@iride.com, and
Yeah.
there's a number there. Besides these methods, are there any other methods, best methods to contact you, best way to reach you, say hello or collaborate, whatever it may be?
Well, that phone number right down there is a excellent way to get in touch with me.
Hmm.
That's listed there. There's a
Okay.
phone number, and there's yep, that is an excellent way to get in touch with me. And yeah, that's the best way. I also do answer DMs if just quick thing or something. I answer DMs, but um for the most part, when I people go through my website, they seem to not too many people call me on the phone, but they leave me a message on the website, and I get back to people that way too, really quickly.
Nice, nice. So you're constantly on the lookout, like
Yeah.
when it comes to the website as well. That's good. That's good.
Mhm.
And I guess the final question for tonight, like, just any final thoughts you'd like to leave everyone with? Any final message or whatever it may be?
Well, since we are in January and we did just talk about goals and resolutions, I think it's a good idea to have some goals, and it's not too late to set those goals and to write them down, because there's something about the act of writing them down that really resonates and puts it into motion, that and it reminds you that this is what you want. And I have my list right in front of me right now. um I have a lot of goals this year to want me I can run through them if really quick
Of
if you don't
course,
mind.
of course. Go
All
ahead.
right. Okay, so my goals for this year are to show in New York City again, to show in Boston. Oh, this one is a personal one. We'll skip that one. Um, I want to join two art gallery. I wanted to join three art galleries, but I already joined one. So that is really good. And I want to learn digital art and get an iPad, which I don't have yet. So that can just add to my what I already know, and I know that's going to be just it's going to knock me out of the park. Um, I want to figure out how to show at Art Basel, and I want to get monetized on X. I'm saving for Paris 2026,
Ooh.
which I'm going with my parents. And I'm going to go on some mini trips. I want to solicit some galleries in Provincetown, which has like galleries. Every other shop is a gallery there. So it's a good place for me to get into. And I want to learn a new skill. And I added two more. But that's okay. I'm not gonna go through that. I added two more, so I have 14 on my list. But you know what? Write those goals down and do what you want to do. You see yourself somewhere, there's no reason why you can't be there. You just have to act.
Just have to act.
Hmm.
And yeah, I
Hmm.
even I even wrote it down right here in my notes, like have some goals and write them down. That's I'm
Hmm.
gonna start that list. I'm gonna start that list. Definitely.
Awesome.
I've always been one of those that like keeps their goals in their minds, but then like I will say I have forgotten some. So definitely, it's a
Yeah,
good way to manifest by writing them down and reading them over.
absolutely.
I think reading them is very
Yes,
important as well.
exactly. Oh, awesome. Mhm. We're on the same page.
Mhm. All right, Eye-Rye. It's been a pleasure meeting you and having you on the show tonight. It's been amazing learning about your journey and you know about your art as well. I always find the best experiences when it comes to viewing art is to view the art with the creator and I'm very fortunate to be able to do this for our friends here every week at 8 p.m. Eastern at Meta One Design headquarters on Decentraland, and of course YouTube, Twitch, X, and Kick. And yeah, thank you, Eye-Rye. Really appreciate your time
Thank you
tonight.
so much. I really appreciate you having me. Thanks a lot, Sinful.
You're very welcome. And to everyone that is standing by on Decentraland, yeah, just hang out for a little bit. I will be throwing some music on right after I raid some streamers and close down some streams. So, yeah, everyone, please stand by.